Hey, what's up? You are now tuned in to the LITE Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph, and I'm here with my brothers Mike Story, Ramsey Janti, and Reggie Harris. Here on the LITE Podcast, our focus is to inspire you to be the best version of yourself through impactful conversations about faith, family, hustle, and health. Why? Because light bring more light.
Triple the worth.
That's how we gonna end it right there.
That's that energy. Start like that.
That's that energy right there. That's
Woke
that.
me up.
Hey,
I was tripping over my words at first.
you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You don't even
It wake
need to-
you up.
It get you up real quick. What's going on, homies? It's your boy Joseph, and I am back with my brothers Mike Story
What's
Jr. and
up?
Ramsey Janti. Welcome to another episode of the LITE Podcast, man. Fellas, we on that energy this morning. We on that type of time.
Yeah. That's that alarm clock right there. Wake you up out of bed.
Get to that
Get you
money.
going.
One,
I need to set
two,
that.
3, 4. Yeah, that's what I'm on
I need
today.
to set
at the
my
gym.
iPhone to do that. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Hove, man. Follow the way of Hove.
Hey, listen, I promise you, bro. Hey, how y'all doing this week, though, fellas? How was y'all's week?
Man, solid, man. Solid. Just
Hectic,
growing and
man.
learning.
Yeah,
Your facial said everything, Rams.
nah, for real, bro.
yeah, moving week coming up. You gotta work with the students.
Yeah,
Starting school, do it all. So
Man.
it's good. It's to grow you, though. You know, it's to
Yeah.
grow you, not to
most
destroy you.
definitely, most definitely.
How about
Ramsey,
you? How about you?
Well, before we go into that, Rams, you put out a PSA. Yesterday we dropped it on
yeah.
the LITE Podcast's IG. You want to just share, like, kind of reiterate real quick? I mean, because it's been a heavy thing, just for you and your your family.
Yeah. You know, in Haiti, you know, I'm Ramsey Janti because we've got that francophone sounding name. My parents are from Haiti, and so, visited back and forth all growing up. But I know that personally for me, after I visited after the 2010 earthquake to do help, like even talking with my family and stuff, we're like, man, they've given $500 million to the Red Cross, and like a few houses have been built. And when you give to learning the hard way, when you give to these big international charities, they're like, yeah, just give to us, we'll get it to the people. It doesn't happen because they're so top heavy. They give to administration, they give to this and that. People get their hands all over it and it doesn't make it to the people. So
Wow.
the temptation at this time is to like, hey, we're just going to donate. We're going to, hey, donate to whoever. But yeah, that PSA was just all about making sure that you donate to, now that there's more reputable charities that are by Haitians, for Haitians, already there, working there, or that have been there for a long time, know what they're doing, and wait on them to be like, actually, this is what we need, not just sending random supplies that you think people need. And then people just end up like, we don't even need this stuff. So people are just trying to like sell it or hawk it or whatever. So anyway, that's all that is. It's just using wisdom in our giving and our desire to be actually helpful, so it goes to the places that need it.
Yeah,
Man, people take advantage of you, man. A good heart, boy. This is the world.
Yeah,
man. I promise you. I ain't even mean to switch the energy like that, but it needed to be said.
Yeah, it
But at
did.
the same time, put me anywhere on God's green earth. I
Play it back.
Run it back. I gotta do a whole bunch of stuff to run it back.
That's what the Red Cross.
Nah, never mind.
Yeah, that's what the Red Cross was saying.
Put me anywhere on God's
green earth. I'll triple my word.
I promise
Man.
you. Let me borrow. Let me hold something. That's the definition of let me hold something.
Let me hold something for real. Waiting for you around the corner.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
Talk to you for a second.
Hey.
You know you're about to get hit up for some money when that happens, man.
I promise
Hold
you.
a dollar.
I promise you gotta give. Fam, I ain't even.
Do you remember the first time?
Remember that?
What we do?
The bachelor party.
Huh?
The bachelor party. My bachelor party. Remember that? Old boy on the corner.
Oh,
He was like-
poured him up some. You're like, take
Filled
some
him
of
up
this.
all the way up.
Oh, you foul. You did?
You gave him a cup. You're like, hey, he's gonna buy it.
For real, bro.
I don't know who was. I don't forget who was. But yeah, that was probably Patron podcast. Patreon.
We calling it Patron. We calling it Patron now. Tune in to the Patron.
Patron.
Hey.
Let's mug live. Honestly, too, ain't it?
He probably
we live, baby. Yeah.
He was probably gonna use anything we gave him to buy it anyway. So
man, if I was sleeping outside, I would too. If I was sleeping outside, I would stay high, man. Let's just be honest. Think about it. I hate when people say that. Don't give them money, they're gonna use it on drugs. They live outside. Like
I'm homeless.
Like there's some reason why you're there. You just don't wake up like I'm gonna be out here today. I need to self-medicate, man. This is live, ain't it?
Mike said, let him say.
Hey, man.
You found, bro.
Hey, man. Wait, look, there's CEOs of billion-dollar companies who are going to their homes self-medicating the same way. They're just
they
inside.
Ain't self-medicating.
Yeah,
that's indulging. Yeah. They ain't self-medicating. They indulging.
I'm just saying, I ain't judging them. That's all I'm saying. Life hits, man.
Nah, life
hits. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny, man. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, the energy's all the way different now.
No, but get it back into it. Get it back into what we were saying. We were talking about the blueprint, and you saying like the stuff we're giving to Haiti. But one thing, like, because I'm actually been working on. I haven't really talked about working on like a nonprofit with my parents that they already do, but basically they have a school in Haiti, and it was like, oh, you wouldn't think of like having
hold on, slow down. Your family has a school in Haiti?
I know, right? You're about to say that. I was like,
bruh,
keep going.
Hold on, bro. You can't. Hold on.
Yeah,
because your family
has, out here.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Out here.
Your family has a school in Haiti.
Yeah, a school.
Incredible, bro.
Man, I want to go visit. Man.
No, seriously, bro.
Like, for real.
What's the name of the school? Like,
it's called Collège Alexandre Dumas. And Alexandre Dumas was who he wrote Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo.
He was Haitian?
Yeah, he was of Haitian descent.
Wow.
His father was born from a Haitian woman and a French like soldier on the island of Hispaniola. So his father, and then his white father sent him to France to get an education. And so
wow,
that's amazing, man.
So
you mean so I remember, and I'll give the floor back to you, but I do remember people being like, yeah, Alexander Dumas is black, but he was mixed and he's of Haitian descent.
Yeah.
And so that's powerful. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he's like a big, like I guess how we would call it, maybe here like a Benjamin Franklin or a poet laureate, or even just a national treasure, like a Maya Angelou or something. Like, so you have Maya Angelou high school or whatever. This is Collège Alexandre Dumas. So so in that, I was wondering like why my dad why he wanted to do something like that for a business. And it's a school you like pay to go to, but they try to set up a lot of stuff to help people pay to go to it. But like, there's no such thing as like free education. Even in public schools, you have to pay to go. Like in Haiti, there's no like you just go to school and you don't pay anything. Like you have to pay out of your pocket to go to school. So in that, he was like, I want to do a school, and a really good, quality school, because basically what you guys we wanted to build something like have a blueprint per se as we came in the music that we came into.
Yeah,
because we didn't want to build something that just took and sucked. Like we wanted to build something that gave as well. So you give and you receive an education. You learn computers, learn different things. Exactly. And then kids get a blueprint for their life.
Wow.
And that's the same thing, because he says the biggest problem in Haiti isn't just the stuff, it's the other outside forces that come in. So let's say a charity comes in and they're not really giving it, but it's also the internal forces that people just want to spend right away. They're like, oh, I got this, I got to spend it. Or that's where corruption can thrive, because they can thrive on the immediacy of your need that you need. It's like, hey, you need this, trade this for that. Trade think of like if you're talking about the Bible, Esau and Jacob. Well, I'm thinking of you know the Bible story of Esau and Jacob, right? And they're two brothers, and Jacob trades his whole inheritance because he's like his birthright.
Oh, because he was hungry
for a meal, because he was hungry in the moment.
Okay,
and that's what people end up doing a lot to people who are vulnerable. That's like, hey, let me buy this land from you because you're hungry in the moment, or this is going to cost you this because you're hungry in the moment. And there's no margin to actually build out a plan for what you want to do with your life. And when my dad was able to escape that, start his own business, that was the whole thing. He was like, I want to give people margin to have a plan to start out what they want to do and create it, and then build that for themselves. And you can't do that without education, at least not in Haiti.
Bro, that's so powerful. First of all, that's incredible that you come from a lineage, that your dad would set up such an amazing foundation. And just for you to go to school and do what you do, bro, I can just see you know what I'm saying? Like, just close my eyes and I just see the type of amazing things that are going to be done through that school, through you, and continue like through your family. Yeah. And I'm just like, bro, I don't know how, but I want to help.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, how we raise money for some tuition or something?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, how can is that a thing? Can people even help with that? Like,
you can't. Yeah, we haven't said everything, because my dad's been doing it. Has been 17 years now that we've had it. So 17? He really wanted to build it. Yeah, build it.
Bro, from high schools in Dallas that ain't been here 17. Bro, and y'all been able to, like, that's incredible.
Yeah. So now is just now where we're starting. Okay, and I think now we're ready. We've got the infrastructure. We've got the reputation as a really good school as well.
Wow.
And now we'll be able to also. It just gets weird with outside support. You want to know who you can trust. You don't want to like depend on them as well. You never wanted to be on something that depends on outside support. Yeah. So I'll just say it, like, the thing that we wanted to do, actually, that we're working on, like, hey, this piece can be outside support, is like, my mom loves, so my dad started it, and my mom's like the I guess you could say his co-partner with it. So she works with him, and her name is on all the stuff too. And she's like, I love the education and everything aspect, but some of these kids are coming to school like hungry, and some of them only eat food a couple of days a week, or like maybe that'll, they don't have a breakfast. They wait to dinner to get home, and they're tired at school. It affects the performance. And she's like, I want to create a free lunch program for them, because she had like this little breakfast thing where people get like pastries were given to it. Teachers and students were like eating it, and that was helping change the morale of it. Just like eating in the morning, or having coffee, or having a little bit of something that changes the morale. So she saw what it was doing in the faculty and staff. She's like, I want to have a free lunch program. So built out an area of the school. Needs. Yeah, exactly. You can't.
Yeah, Maslow's needs.
That Maslow's hierarchy. See, Maslow. We a smart group, y'all. But you need that food and shelter. So that is what we've been working on. My mom already has the space of like, this is where it's going to be. And then hiring out people who are local, like that. So that creates jobs for a lunch lady, to create the meals, cook it out. So we just need a consistent source of food that we can help. Like, so that's what we're doing. That could be the donation piece. Like, it will be like a consistent source of, we just need a consistent incoming source of the food that we make from scratch. You know what I mean? So yeah, just like build out a warehouse of all the food so that we know, like, this is the food for the month, cook it up. So that's what we're looking into, either doing that through like a subscription model, like you're giving this much a month, or do some like a trade-off, like, hey, you buy these t-shirts, or do something like that. So
yeah, bro, we're gonna take this conversation off pod. No, for real, because this is something we gotta man, this is when you talk about light, love in the earth, leaders in the earth, like this is that. So it's like, and your family been doing it for 17 years, bro. And it's so I'm over here so inspired, bro. Like, because people really think that you have to be LeBron James, you have to be Puff, you got to be Jay-Z, you got to be Jalen Rose in order to do stuff like this. But here, your parents they're just inspired to have a heart for where they come from, and they're like. And it's going to come to our topic today.
Bro, look.
They figured out the blueprint and was like, let's serve. Yeah. Let's do it. Like, man.
Bro, look how smart your dad, your mom and dad, you know what I mean? That team. I mean, you got a school 17 years, and then he has a son that has a doctorate. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, speaking, man, he's smart. Yeah.
Bro, come on, bro. You're going to get that doctor. We know it's coming.
But like, man, that's a vision, bro.
Incredible, bro.
Like your parents, man, salute to them. That's amazing.
Salute to the Gentilles, man.
Make sure you send this to him too.
Yeah.
Send this little clip to him. I'm gonna clip it so you can send it to him.
I will. That'll make him proud. That'll make him proud. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But yeah, that's that, man, fellas. I want to get into it. We was before the pod started. We just kind of stumbled upon the topic of risk, calculated risk, and blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And like I was saying, this is something that's been heavy on me lately, heavy in my life. And so, fellas, I just want to dive into it, and just share with the people like how to take calculated risk. Because if I'm being honest, I've always been okay with taking risks, but I haven't necessarily throughout my life had the wisdom to take calculated risks. Just being transparent. So a lot of my risks have come with a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to use the word bad, but I don't know.
A learning experience.
Yeah, because it wasn't calculated. And so I'm just learning now to take, trying to figure out how to do that effectively. And so, yeah, man, this is what we're going to chop on today, fellas. So what y'all talk to me, calculated risk.
Yeah. Hey, Rams. Talk about learning on the fly. Tell us a little bit. I want to hear more. Like, what was it like? What were the actual things that had to play out for you to now I had to learn a lesson? What was it like having to learn on the fly and not thinking?
My marriage. I mean,
that's real.
I'm saying, excuse my language, but shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, me and my wife, I was 20, she had just turned 22. So we was babies when we got married, bro. Both of us come from broken homes. Like, bruh, it's risk off the top. And the stats are against us. Like, just straight up, the stats are against us. Yeah. And we went through everything, like been through everything. And like my lack of wisdom and just knowing and understanding, bro, it came with a lot of trauma and debris and whatever, like wreckage, whatever words you want to use, which by the grace of God have turned into lessons and learning lessons to where now it's knowledge and it's turned into wisdom that I'm able to help other people around me with, and be a blessing to them. But man, it's like, bruh, you talk about not having a plan. Me and my wife just talked about it on our show, D&D, like not having a plan and a blueprint for our marriage, bruh. You gonna listen, y'all seen it. Speaking of Miami, y'all seen what happened with that building in Miami? Bro, that's infrastructure. That's blueprint. Yeah, God bless everybody that was affected by that building collapsing. But bro, that's infrastructure. That's the plan. Something went wrong in the planning stage. Something went wrong with the blueprint. There was somebody cut a corner on measuring. Somebody didn't make sure that whatever was right, and boom. And look at the just the wreckage that's caused, the trauma that's caused. And so for me, that's the biggest thing where it's been like, bruh, like not having a plan and taking it's taking that risk of getting married that young. Like, bruh, it came with a lot. And like I said, by the grace of God, they've turned into lessons and knowledge and wisdom now. But man, bruh, that's probably the biggest thing for me, for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like that, with like not having a plan. It's like every seed like eventually bears fruit. And I forget what building was or what book I read it in. It was like some group of investors built a skyscraper or whatnot, and they didn't dig low enough.
Oh, the one in the Bay Area.
Yeah. So then like dude was sitting up there in his penthouse and a marble dropped and it rolled. And it's like everything was built and it was ready, but that one little small error, somebody dropped the ball, it eventually bear fruit. You know what I mean? And it's like it was no good, but it's like every single thing you have to pay attention to when it comes to that stage. I think another important thing is like when it comes to taking risk, it's like I have to be ready. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the blueprint. But it's like when you're looking at that blueprint, you're seeing like areas where you may need help, that you're seeing your weaknesses and everything. So you got to kind of build up a foundation that's going to protect you. You know what I mean?
Mike, when you say, because I don't want to fly over that, when you say I need to be ready, do you mean just I need to be ready, like I need to have the plan ready, or internally
internally? So like storms are going to come, you know, and that's why I'm really learning. Like, I think being like younger, you kind of like, man, I dodged that one or whatnot. You're trying to avoid as many storms, but you like kind of get older, you kind of realize like they're going to come. You know, I ain't trying to speak it like or whatnot, but it's just life. And when they come, I just have to be ready. You know, like I had to be disciplined. I had to be, you know, I have to be growing. I have to be in a stage of like a place of peace to operate. Because otherwise, if them storms come, I'm going to fold.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It may be folding like, man, when that stress comes, I'm like yelling at my wife or arguing with her because I can't take the stress, or I'm just not taking care of me, and other people are getting hit by that. You know what I mean? So I think when you go through those storms, you have to be ready first before even the blueprint. The blueprint's going to protect you in some parts, but you just have to be ready as a man or as a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, what you're saying, that's so true. Because I think what people think with calculated risks, or people think, oh man, you're just being like too passive. Now, it's not being passive, like, because we I think with our I don't want to just bash only on social media, because we're on social media. Follow us at the LITE Podcast. But yes. Like we glorify.
Good? Let me see. She done did a hold on. Come here,
invested in the.
My bad.
Gotta keep it going. Gotta keep that romance.
Girl. I'm gonna see
this
you
podcast
tonight.
got 15 more minutes.
Nah, she going to get her eyebrows done. So she was just telling me about it. She walked in here looking all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
I know what you're talking about, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's on the way, Ramsey, if you choose it.
I'm filling out my blueprint for it.
Hello.
But what I was saying, we glorify the come up that came when somebody just like dove in. Oh man, they went head first and they did all this and they overcame everything. And we're like, we don't know what they actually thought through first. You know, that seems boring to like build out a blueprint. And not everybody, I mean, you don't have to go through all of the things that they went through. The other side, it seems glorious. Man, we overcame this and we overcame that, all these self-inflicted wounds. But they will tell you they didn't have to do all of that. So a calculated risk is still a risk. Like you said, Mike, it's going to like, the storms are still going to happen, but have you prepared yourself and been like, even though the storms will happen, all right, I'm ready. You know, I'm still going to go through them. It's still going to happen. Like, all right, we know they're coming, and let's
here's the crazy thing. You never know if you're ready until you're in it.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? So you're thinking like, you think that you see, it's like the Johari window, you know? It's like you're about to jump into this risk, but like, you can just see what you can see. You can't see what you can't see. You don't know what you don't know. So when you get there, you have to be prepared. You know what I mean?
And that's why
how do you get prepared?
That's why it's crucial you work on yourself every day. Bruh, you cannot take a day off from developing yourself, bruh. That's what I'm learning. I remember when I first like came into the faith, I used to like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna read my Bible on this day and I'm gonna take off on this day. It's like, nah, bruh. Like now I'm looking back almost, 10 years later, and it's like, bro, you have to be so intentional about working on yourself every day in some aspect, bro. Now there does need to be rests that you take. Like, but what does it say? Like you have to implement these little things, but bruh, you have to be so intentional. So it's like, for me, it's like everything has to be helping me grow. No, I can't have anything
to multiply.
Bruh, yeah, that's it. I can't put energy into something that's just dead. I can't do it. I can't do it. So like, whether that's, we talked about something that's been huge since after that one episode where we talked about like me just staying in bed with my wife, not waking up at whatever time to be in competition with some imaginary thing. Like, bruh, that's been so impactful because I've been feeling that. And it's like, bruh, you're putting so much energy into, like, you're really investing your energy. If you got to stay in bed for an extra 30, get what you need. But that you getting that extra 30 is helping you invest in
yourself.
Come on, bro. And so you have to be intentional about your growth every single day, like every single day, because there's always something trying to pull you into a negative way. Y'all know the stat, man, 80% of our thoughts are negative from the moment we wake up. So it's like literally from the moment we roll out of bed, we got to be intentional about making sure we grow into who we need to be in order to do what we need to do, like in our lives. Yeah.
It's creating that blueprint for yourself. You know what I mean? And when you create that blueprint, you have to become that blueprint. So like what you're talking about, like reading every day and everything, it's like when you read so much, it has to be coming in your head. You got to be speaking and coming out of you. Mm-hmm. That way you become what you're seeking after. You know, that what you seek is what you become.
That's good.
You know, Ooh. And so when you become something, when you're in that field or whatnot, or you're taking that risk, you know what I mean? That's only how you're going to know if you withstanding it. Is if what you sought out, what you sought after, is it going to stand the test? You know, and you won't know until you're in it. But what's so beautiful about though, once you're in it, it's a learning experience. Mm-hmm. It's up to you how it gets handled. You know, these are just situations that's occurring in it. You know, it's like, okay, this is kind of how you got to put out this fire. I got to put out this fire. This fire is like, okay, let me take a second and figure out, get back to the blueprint.
Like, why am I having these fires?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So fires are always going to come.
Yeah. And see, that's what I had to ask just recently, bro. I'm like, okay, so just the analogy when we think about blueprint. I was at work and what we do is we install like lighting and AV systems. So like in big studios and all that type of stuff. And so I'm with the boss and we're looking this big blank room. It's blank. Nothing's in there. And we got to turn it into what it's supposed to be. And he just walking around and he's, you know, doing this, taking the notes. And I'm like, yo, what you doing? He like, oh, bro, I'm just making the blueprint. And then ding, the light bulb went off. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we can build out this room without the blueprint, but we're going to make so many mistakes and we're going to have to recut and we're going to have to readjust and we're going to have to remeasure. Or we can take a minute. We can take a day. We could take a day to write out the plan. Listen to me, people. Listen to me. Write out the plan. Be specific. Erase. Talk about it. Write out the plan. Get the plan right, and then we can execute the plan. And there, God was like, "Hey, bro, you ain't got no plan.
Yeah.
You ain't got no plan." And I was like, I'm thinking, like, man, God, I've always been able to be creative and create different things, but none of that matters if you ain't got no plan to like really take you to the next level. Yeah. And bro, I have this revelation at the same time. God is like really working on me with the pride and the ego stuff to be humble, to listen, to really hear what other people are saying to me in my life. And so I told y'all about Dom challenging me last week. And so in that, God was able to show me like, oh shoot, Dom has the blueprint for us.
Yeah.
God is giving Dom the blueprint on how we need to get to the next level. And so, bruh, I'm talking about when you talk about humility and realizing like the importance of a blueprint, like it really just hit me. And so for the first time in my career, bruh, think about it, making music 10 years. This is the first time that we got a blueprint.
Wow.
And all the mistakes I've made, and it's like great art, not gone to waste, but not maximized because there was no blueprint.
Yeah.
And so now I'm looking like, oh shoot, bro, got the blueprint. And bro, when I tell you, man, it's just so much easier to execute because now we know what the target is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now we can really focus the aim and empty the clip because now we know this is the target. We need to hit this step, then this step, then this step. Like
you see what you're aiming your focus at.
That's the difference, bro. I felt like I'm just
clip all over.
That's all I'm doing.
Like them Harlem Night boys.
Yeah, ain't hit nothing. I'm talking about ain't hit nothing. Ain't hit a light pole, like, bro. Yeah. And now it's like, man, we finally got that blueprint, and it's like, bro, I'm re-energized. And to be transparent, bro, I did not know how I was going to start making music again, bro. But it's so powerful once you get the plan, how that can reinvigorate everything else, bro. I'm like, I'm so inspired to write again.
So second birth.
Bro. I'm talking about, I'm so inspired to write again. I'm so inspired to perform again, bro. I didn't know, I didn't know what it was going to be. Like, I'm just being straight up. Like, I was like, man, I don't know. Because I wasn't feeling it because I felt like I just kept failing. But why? Why did I have to keep starting to like remeasure? Because it wasn't no blueprint. I ain't had no blueprint. And now it's like, bruh, yeah.
That's dope, man. Like where you guys are saying, go ahead.
No, go right ahead. You got it.
Not when you were saying like all that stuff.
That's when I just take it back and just shoot that joker.
You're like McKee and Tumbo.
Yeah, why don't y'all shoot the ball?
I don't got the mismatch. Mismatch. How was this? Oh, wait. Okay, so here's it. All that stuff that you were talking about, you know, the crazy stuff is the blueprint. Like so think of like a show like Chip and Joanna Gaines or something like that, right? The building show. They don't show the boring part. They're like, they go in like, oh, we're going to do this, and then they start doing it. But what's behind the scenes is the blueprint. But blueprints aren't sexy because they all happen behind the scenes, and everything that we're talking about. This is stuff that happens in your prayer closet. This is stuff that happens in your journal. This is stuff that happens between conversations. It's not what everybody gets to see. It's not the sexy part. No, there's not a show about blueprint.
In the gym?
No.
You at Whitney? Oh, come on.
And also what we were saying about so speaking of shooting in the gym, what you were talking about, like the consistency of the build up. Like Kobe said it right. He's like, if I wake up at 4 a.m., you know, and I go to the gym, shoot, you know, go there, do 4 hours. I go back home, shower, go to bed at 8, get back, you know, 4 hours later, I'm training again. He's training 3 times a day. He's like, if I do that for several years, no matter what somebody else comes in, is like, okay, I'm about to start doing this. I've got all these years on you. So you were talking a little bit about that, just the years of experience. So none of that goes, you know, to waste either. It's just like now you have a structure to it that you can add to all the stuff that you've already been doing. So.
That's it. 100%. Yep.
Hello and welcome to the Multi-Minute on the LITE Podcast. I am Reggie Harris, founder and CEO of Harris Multifaceted LLC. For all your motivated and consulting needs, give your boy a shout out. Check out my website, www.harrismultifaceted.com. Want to talk to you guys about something today. If you are ever dependent on other people and things to define who you will always be a fake. Let me explain that to you in more context here. You know, everybody's always talking about, hey, I want to find the real me. I want to be the authentic me that I'm created to be. But if that is dependent on approval of other people, or if it's or if it is, you know, dependent upon the acceptance or what clique I'm in, or, you know, who saw this or who patted me on my back, you'll always be a fake, because you'll go in whatever direction that a person tells you to go, because your existence, you're moving forward, you doing stuff, your motivation comes from their approval. Now, as my mama told me a long time ago, you can do everything right and people will not like you just because of who you created to be. And so you got to understand that in order to find your true purpose, you have to start looking within yourself. And not only that, look at the things that give you an adrenaline rush. Look at the things that make you happy. Not looking to fit into somebody else's box, because people will disappoint us. And there's no ifs and buts about it. And you'll never be able to make everybody happy. So as you go out today, remember, how do I want to keep from becoming a fake? Number one, search within yourself. See what gives you an adrenaline rush. Go out, practice, do things, and find out what you like. Search for those things. And then look within yourself and say, hey, I'm going to do these for me. Peace.
But yeah, like somebody like preparing for that storm and everything walking, doing it's crazy though. Like certain things you've done in your life can prepare you for it. So it naturally just happens. You know, I think like in my life, from working like in nonprofits and things, and then working like in supervisor position, you know what I mean? And having employees before, or people, I probably not say employees, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. You got degrees in school counseling and stuff.
Yeah. So like this current stage I'm in my life right now, I'm noticing like I can draw back on a lot of my experiences to help me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, this is just like my job, or this is just like when I was in school, or this is just like when I played basketball or whatnot. And it's just like every stage of your life, you have to take those learning lessons and you have to apply them. You have to keep going. And it's just not for nothing. Like we tell a kid, no, you got to finish step 1. If you don't finish step 1, you can't go to step 2. You can't go to step 3. Well, I got to do this. You can't quit this team because you're going to learn something from it, you know, pretty much. But it's like everything helps you out.
Yeah. And I think you can use that like in the blueprint as well, drawing from your experiences as you're planning that. So you're planning out storms are going to come, and then drawing from your experiences of what you've been brought through or what you learned in the past, you could use that to mitigate those. And I think you can also use them in your blueprint for your life. Yeah,
it's like your personal blueprint, like your whatever you're trying to do or accomplish, if it's your business or your goals educationally or whatnot, it has to match in a way. You know what I mean? You can't have like two opposite blueprints. I feel like your goals somewhat, in a sense, like your principles have to match. I can't work for this company if I don't believe in these things and I'm doing this, you know?
Yeah. Man, you know what's crazy about that? People talk about work-life balance, and I don't know if I believe in it the same way other people believe, because they talk about it like, okay, I'm going to work like this, but then I'm going to like rest like this. And it's like, I'm going to work this job that I hate.
Yeah.
And just like build up all this. I hate this job, but I'm like, this is going to be my, like, and I was like, man, that's not the way I want to live. Like you were saying, Mike, is like your personal goals, your personal blueprint in life needs to somewhat match up. So if you're working a job you don't even think is ethically aligning with your values, that's going to like draw on you.
It creates that cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
plant-based. I can't go work at Longhorn. You know what I mean?
Promise you. No. We're saying something real, because it's so easy to compartmentalize our lives that way. When really the goal is, I'm gonna be a nerd right here. So me and my son watch everything Marvel, right? And so in the latest series, Loki, it talks about the timeline and how the timeline is like interwoven between a bunch of timelines to create one specific timeline that is the main timeline.
The sacred timeline.
The sacred timeline. There you go. But when things happen, it can create branch realities, which can create a mess of millions of different timelines that branch off, right? And so I feel like that can be us in our lives, to where we have things that don't line up with our sacred, timeline of our life. And they're just a bunch of different things that we allow to stem off that don't line up with the main timeline, right? And so the goal is to make everything line up in your life with your principles. Is for you to be the same person in every place you are, right? And so it's so easy to do. For instance, like at church, bro. Our church is like growing, and it's very, very young. And with it being very, very young, and having very, very young adults in it, there's certain things that people have to learn, as far as like just being in leadership, right? So being in leadership meaning like the way we present ourselves specifically, right? Professional and all of that stuff, right? And so you can become something you don't want to become on accident, right? By trying to fit in a mold. And I remember God just telling me like, bro, I'm me. I'm trying to be me in every circumstance that I'm everywhere that I am. And so I'm working in the parking lot crew, and everybody look the way they look, and I look the way I look. I got my hat broke to the side. I'm in that joke a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I felt convicted because, no, for real, man. And I felt convicted because I'm not dressed like, but God was like, nah, pay attention. As I'm in the parking lot working, all the bros is seeing me like, yo, like, I don't know. They're like, what's good, bro? Like, how you doing? What's happening on me? Like, being me. And it's like, because I need you to be you, because I need you speak to who you speak to. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to make somebody feel comfortable coming up in here. They need to know that they welcome here too. And it's like, bro, we have to make sure that our lives are just like there's just one flowing timeline, that we're not being a bunch of different people in different places, because that's easy to do. Especially as Black men, we know how to flip the switch, bro. We speak like seven, 8 different languages.
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying? And so the goal is to be the same person and eliminate that cognitive dissonance, right? Eliminate those branch realities, to where our life just lines up with our principles and our blueprint, to where we're never walking out of bounds of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I admire about both of you guys? In that, I admire that both of you have married people that you are yourselves around. I don't, either it was always that way, or maybe you got comfortable where you just started doing that.
Yeah, it took us a while to get there.
Yeah, but you're now both at places where I've seen you interact with your spouse where you're just you and you're around, because it could get tempting. You date something, you're like, okay, this girl is more of a classy. All right, I'm gonna put on my classy. Oh, this girl is a little bit more. Okay, let me put on my,
No, straight up.
But I admire that, and I try to remember that when I see you guys. Like, I got to be with someone you can just be around, and that's your blueprint. I just think about that when I think of y'all's
appreciate relationships.
That, bro. Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
and it took me time. It took me and my wife time to get there, because once again, we really come from broken homes, so we didn't know, and so we're trying to present ourselves to each other, and we have to be a certain way around each other. But, in this go round, I remember specifically being like, I need you to be 100% you, and I'm gonna be 100% me. And I'm gonna love you and accept you for who you are. And I need you to do the same. If this is gonna work, we got to be fully ourselves, and we got to be comfortable with the whatever. Like we get, and so, that we had to come to that. We had to grow into that, because it wasn't like that originally. But you're right, bro. That is
so true. You gotta be able to be naked with somebody, you know what I mean? And you can't just sit there just trying to hide everything. But I think the problem comes in, even we're making our blueprint and everything that we're doing, we take, like you said, Jay, something very important. Like, if you were trying to be like everybody else at that church, you'd have been denying what's special about you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, think of AI. Like, I got him as one of the best basketball players of all time. Like, he's in my top 10. And it's just not even what he did on the floor. It's like, look at the way the game is now. If AI was trying to be like Jordan, oh my God, what would the league have missed out on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, or if Ken Griffey wouldn't have been a kid when he first came in.
If he wouldn't have turned that backwards.
Yeah. It's like, you just lose out on that. And I think it's the same thing for us. It's like you're saying, I think like in my family, I've noticed I've noticed my son, like, he has different personality. You know what I mean? Like, he's like me in a way, he's like his mom, but he has his own. And there's some things like you just like, let me try to channel this a certain way or whatever. I was like, I have to let him be him and just pray and hope that he's connected to the source. Like you said, being connected to the source. Like, and my family, we all can have our different personalities. We all can do what we want to do, but we have to be connected to the same spot. And if we're not all connected to that spot, like you said, I don't know about the Marvel thing, but the center, the sacred
timeline.
Yeah. If you're not connected to that, then it's going to be chaos. Because you're going to be feeling this way. I want this. This is the plan, or this is the plan. It's like, wow. Now, if you're all in that one household, you have to be connected to that sacred line.
And that's why principles are important. That's why those principles
are
so, we talk about it all the time, but that is why it is so important, because you need to know the standard. Like in our last meeting, like Dom was like, hey, this is what we doing. And nothing outside of this, because we got principle. We already had principles set up. We just didn't have a plan, like within those principles of like how to execute. And so he was like, this is that. This is how we're going to do that. We won't do this because this don't line up with this, but we'll do this. And it's like, bro, when you have those principles and you have that blueprint, bro, it makes executing so much more easy.
It does.
It makes it so much more easy.
That's a clear understanding. It's like a policy. I can always go back to this policy. This is how we do it. This is how we do things. You can always point to that. You know what I mean?
What we got? We got Trey?
We got Trey.
Let's see. What's
we
up,
got the policy holder right here.
We got the policy holder.
Yeah. He's somewhere around here now. He gone.
Yeah.
That's it's just so important to have that. It's just able, it just keeps you on track.
Up. Yeah. Well, there's the alarm.
There's the alarm.
There's the alarm. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Man, yeah, this is amazing. I know I feel so inspired right now. Ramsey, your family has a school, bro. Like, what? Incredible, man. Incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So
we're talking to a future administrator right here, man.
A headmaster. I like how they call him a headmaster. A future headmaster. I can see Ramsey. He gonna have on the suit with all these different type of sneakers on. No, you gonna change the culture out there.
He gonna come in like Wesley Snipes and Coming to America too.
Yeah.
Done with y'all. Doing that.
Hey, Wesley was really the best character in that movie too, bro.
Man,
he was hilarious, bro. He was hilarious, man. Yeah, nah, that's good. Hey, well, we appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode. Now we got another goal to go do an episode out in Haiti. Did I say that right? Did I?
Haiti.
See, bro. Everybody keep changing every time. Haiti.
Haiti, yeah.
Oh, all right, for sure. One day
we're gonna start a prep school over. I mean, you got the school. We got to start the team.
We got to start a squad.
We're about to have a top 10 team in the nation.
Nice.
It's gonna be the only team in the nation.
This is true.
Soccer, Mike. Remember?
Yeah, true.
We ranked number 1 in the nation. Who y'all playing?
Hey, bro.
What we gotta do is find out Tim Duncan down there, get him off the swim team, get off the
I'm gonna just put you guys in as ringers.
What is that?
Yeah,
as ringers, when you just, the AAU team, you're like, that kid ain't 13.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the movie. I was talking about, bro. That's going.
That's one type of ringer.
Hey, where you going with this? We gotta take that turn.
No, you're thinking about swingers. I'm saying a ring.
Oh, see, you on some freaky stuff, Mike. I don't know. I'm thinking you talking about the ringer where they was acting like they had special needs in that movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was talking about.
Oh, that's what you're thinking about. Okay. Sorry. The ringer.
Ramsey had a freaknik. He left that freaknik down in Florida.
Let's go back.
We're gonna have to clip that and put that on.
I thought everybody was doing it.
Patron. That's on the Patron.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's hilarious. Hey, man, well, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.
All that came from talking about starting a basketball team.
Right, the ringers, swingers. That's hilarious, man. Hey, well, we love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.